Welcome back to Rev Render Garage. Today we have got a treat for you. We are going to teach you how to make spray paint rattle can look professional. Ain't nobody got $10,000 for side paint jobs on little projects and things like that. So what we're going to do is try and show you how to save a whole crap ton of money being able to make this stuff look professionally yourself. Here's what we're starting with right here. Look at how crappy that is, and this is what we're going to make it look like right there. So stay tuned, boys and girls. Buckle up for the ride. All right, here is the newest acquisition. I ran across this the other morning. Actually yesterday morning, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to me. It is a 1994 Suzuki Katana 600 with a clean title for $400, and we wrote it here. It runs and drives out pretty dang well. Just needs some cosmetics, so I think I'm going to give this thing a little Craigslist rebuild, and we will make some money on this thing. So, gonna get it pressure washed, and then we'll go from there. We're gonna show you how to get results like this. Look at that shine on there. All from $7.98 cans of paint and some clear coat. This is what we're starting with. Get a look at it. I mean, yeah, you can see some sheen on there, but man, this thing is dull in comparison. It's rough. It's got a lot of small orange peel effect to it. I think this guy used house paint or something. Gross. We're gonna go ahead and get this stripped down. Step one is just gonna be sanding all of this paint off of there and getting it down to a level where we can throw some primer on it. So we're going to get to doing that. I'll show you what it looks like after it's sanded. Here's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with a Bauer 20 volt detail sander.
Always Harbor Freight, baby.
Doesn't matter what you have. You can use a sanding block if you want, but this just does the job pretty quickly. I'm starting with some 220 grit sandpaper. I will go up from there. We're going to get this thing stripped off and ready for primer. All right, so we've gotten this thing about as far down as I want to take it right now with the 220. I'm just really trying to find out and make sure that there's no low spots or anything in there, but this looks pretty decent. So now I am going to move to some 320 with a sanding block and just hit a little more. The idea behind the grits of the sandpaper, and I know to some of you you'll be like, duh. For those of you who are actually trying to learn this, the grits leave lines in the paper, and the higher the grit you go, the finer the lines. And so what we're trying to do is slowly jump up the grit so we can get rid of all these lines. We're going to use some filler primer, which works really well to hide a lot of that stuff. But once we get into the actual clear coat and things like that, we're going to jump that grit way up, and we'll explain that later. So I'm going to get some 320 on this, and I will show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, we are done with the 320. So you can see it's changed a little bit. You don't need to worry about the scratch right now. We're going to completely take care of those. I'm not worried about these sides right here because where this goes on my project is underneath the front headlight. It's all going to be covered, so you won't see any of that. So we're just worried about the parts that can be seen because this is just a flip. I'm not looking to take this thing to SEMA, as you've heard me say before. So anyways, I'm going to jump it up to some 600 grit now. Then we can get to some primer. Stay tuned, boys and girls. Little secret of the pros right here.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
I don't know if I'd call it a pro tip, but this is what all the guys at body shops are using to dust everything off. Okay, I think that's good. This is what we're using. Automotive primer, filler primer. It's the high build formula. But if you got a hole, this ain't gonna fill it. It's just talking about really light imperfections, like really minute imperfections. Okay, all right. And less is more. This stuff coats really well and doesn't run too much, so you don't have to be as careful. But man, if you're just starting out, do a light coat. Come back, it dries really fast. Do another little light coat. And I'm gonna let that sit for just a little bit, and then I'll come back, shoot it one more time, and then we can actually get some red on there. We're not taking it to SEMA, but we're gonna make it look like it should be at SEMA. For pennies, literally pennies. So we are going to get some No More Drama red put on there. All right, let's get some red paint on this thing. One of the key things that I want to make sure and mention to you is your results are only going to come out as good as what you started with. So prepping it and getting all that gunky paint taken off, getting it all smooth, going through the layers of sandpaper, those are all important steps. But the one thing that you need to make sure you do is don't just slap one coat of paint on there, because when you go to clear coat this and then we go to wet sand it, you need to make sure you've got enough paint on there, and you need to make sure you've got enough clear coat on there, because the edges you can burn through there. And if you've got gray primer, it's going to show up gray through the burn. If you've got black primer, it'll show up black. We're going to put 3 coats of paint on this minimum before we even start to put some clear on there. So that is a pro tip. Make sure you get 3 or 4 coats of paint on this.
Pro tip: the finished product will look as good as what you started with. So take your time, boys and girls.
Because in the clear coat process, if you burn through, you're pretty much repainting the whole thing. There you go, there's your tip. So I'm gonna show you guys kind of a happy little mistake for you, the viewer. See all this? See those cracks? This is what happens when you try to primer over a surface that's not prepped properly. So if you want to avoid all this type of stuff, make sure you get that thing stripped down like I just showed you. So we're starting with a clean surface this primer can really adhere to. If you're trying to just shoot it over some clear coat or some shiny paint, this is probably what you're going to end up with. This is a piece that I'm actually redoing. So it was a happy accident, like I said. This is some of the prep work behind the scenes, is getting this thing plastic welded in certain spots. So if we flip it over, I plastic welded it because there was a big crack, and now there's not at all. All right, I just found another piece that we need to paint. Forgot about this piece, but it was already prepped, primered with black, and it's ready to go. So we're just gonna go ahead and all right, I want to show you what we're working with today, because none of this stuff is professional. This you can buy at Walmart, you can buy it, you can order it on Amazon. I picked this up at, I don't even know, I think I got this at Harbor Freight, honestly. This came from Home Depot, it's their Bare Premium paint. I don't know what makes it premium, but it's working okay for me. It's like $7.98 a can. The Rust-Oleum is about the same exact price. Then we've got Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover Gloss Clear. The only problem with this, and I'm going to use it anyways because I already have it. The problem with this Ultra Cover, I threw it into ChatGPT and it said, no, you got to wait 48 hours, 2 days, 48 hours to even start doing any type of wet sanding on it. They do have clear coats out there that will cure much faster, and you're able to tackle it with some wet sanding much sooner. Next on the list, we have the Hercules from Harbor Freight, baby. Sandpaper, this just happens to be 15 grit. They have all kinds of different ones. I've got 1500, I've got 2000, I've got 3000, I've got 1200, 1000. I will take one of these sheets and I'll fold it up and make it into 4 squares, and that's what I was using to sand earlier. Other than that, I got a bucket of water, and I'll show you that when we start the wet sanding process. So these are 2 more products that I have used during the process of repainting this flip project. Obviously, this is brand new because I ran out, but painter's tape if you need to paint it off, obviously. But don't try and do masking tape. Definitely don't do Scotch tape. Do not, in your right mind, ever attempt to do duct tape or packaging tape.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
Just stop. Don't ever do that. Guess what time it is, boys and girls? Time for some clear coat. So let's take a look at this piece here. I just want to show you what this looks like. It was properly sanded down. It was properly primered. And now we've got 3 coats of paint on here. So we can see it in the sunlight. Yeah, it's definitely got some sheen, but you're not going to see a reflection in it or anything because of all those little tiny, well, you can see them. But we're going to go ahead and get this clear coated. And then once it's clear coated and dried, then we'll start wet sanding it. With this particular clear coat, you want to get all your coats in within an hour and then it starts hardening. So just a little tip.
Pro tip, follow the directions on the product you are using. You will save yourself a lot of headaches.
No matter how many coats you want to do, make sure you get them all done in an hour. So we're going to get at least 3 to 4 on here. Now this stuff can run quite a bit easier than the paint. So you do need to make sure you're being mindful of how you're coating this.
I just felt like running.
Okay, first coat down. Okay, so we've actually got all of the clear coat on here now. So I just want to kind of show you. Again, you can see sheen in there. You're getting to see a little bit of reflection in there, but pay attention to what this looks like because once we're done wet sanding it, that reflection is going to go through the roof. Guaranteed. Same with this piece right here. So we're going to start with some 1500 grit sandpaper. I've got a tub here with water in it. It's already got 2000 in there. It's also got 1500 in there. So we're going to start just by using the 1500 and we're going to start knocking down some of that orange peel on the clear coat. And we'll try and get a clear shot of it, what it looks like, but it's definitely going to dull it up. And I know that seems weird, but just work with me here. I'm also using a little spray bottle here, and the spray bottle just contains some Dawn dish soap and water just to use as a lubricant. So I spray these down, and then you want to wet your sandpaper down and put it in water for at least 15 minutes before you use it. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But they say it helps, and the results I've gotten, I'm going to agree with them. So let's get back to this. Give a little spray. Come on. All right, so we're just gonna lightly sand on this. You can see the way the water beads off of it, whether or not there is still orange peel in there. And be careful along these edges right here because you can definitely burn them out by taking too much paint off at one time. So we wanna try and avoid that. So we're just gonna sand on this for a little bit and then we'll get a clean microfiber cloth to wipe it down so we can take a peek at it. All right, I'm gonna see if you can see what I'm talking about here. Yeah, it's all doled up, but then you can see little pits of shiny spots, and that's where we need to sand some more. We're gonna keep going on that until all of this is flat with no little shiny spots, low spots in it. Let's take a look at this now. You can see now, yes, you can still see some sheen in there, but it's really dulled up. And the most important thing is I don't have any orange peel effect on here. And that is the most important part of sanding with the 1500 grit. You got to get rid of all those little low spots in the clear coat. Otherwise, you're not going to have a good finished product. So now that we've got this ready to go, we are going to start in on the 2000 grit, which takes a third of the time because you did all the hard work on the 15. So we're going to get rolling on that, and I'll bring you back once we're done. We have got the 2000 done. I actually ran out of 2500, but I've got one of these round Hercules from Harbor Freight 3000 grit foam disc. So I'm going to use this. Nice thing is it comes kind of with water built into it already since it's foam. So we're going to hit it with the 3000 and then we'll bring it back to cut it and show you the end result. All right, we're done with the 3000 now. So you can, hopefully you guys can recognize the fact that the sheen has been really dulled up. Yes, there is sheen to it, but it's really dull. And it might not be easy to see on this camera. So we're going to get Meguiar's cutting polish and we're going to polish this up for you really quick and show you the difference between that and the round piece from being wet sanded. All right, we are on to the cutting portion of this with this Ultimate Compound from Meguiar's. It says it cuts as fast as hard. as fast as harsh abrasives, obsoletes traditional compounds. Okay, I've used it before. It works good. And then we're using one of these Grant's universal polishing foam pads. I'm just using it with my hand today. There's no need to put it onto anything electric. We just need to cut it. And this is a low cut, high finish, so it's a yellow in color. We're gonna get some compound on this pad and show you what we're doing here. Put a couple dabs on here. So then I'm just gonna work this all over. You can see we're getting it swirled all over that. Just wanna get it good and coated. Once it's good and coated, then just work in a circular motion just around the whole thing. All we're trying to do is polish every bit of this little piece. Try not to put it on the table so you guys don't shake around in the camera. Switch my hands here. It doesn't take that much. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Man. All right, you guys. Take a look at this. That's a drastic difference from what we started with. Now let me show you the other piece that's just clear coated. I'm gonna hold them both up, hopefully in one hand here. Look at the difference. I'm gonna get out in the sunlight here and see if that makes a difference. So you can, look at that. See how nasty that looks without wet sanding it? And then look at that. Holy smokes, that looks good. There you go, boys and girls. You wanna make spray can look professional? We just did it. We just did it. Now we just got to finish the rest of the pieces on that katana, wrap it up so we can get it up for sale. Hey guys, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope it brought some value to your life and I hope you learned something from it. If you found any value in this video whatsoever, we ask that you smash that like button, share this video. This is great content and we hope it can save you some money in the long run. Until next time, we're making some progress here. Reverend are out.
As always, thanks for watching. Tune in every Saturday for a new video. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Those likes really help us out with the YouTube algorithm. Until next time, Reverend are out.